It has been 2 years since Star Wars Battlefront 2 launched on November 17, 2017. Developed by DICE and published by EA, the game has pulled off one of the most insane comebacks in gaming history. 2 years ago, it was in a state of distress, a buggy mess full of backlash by the community. Now, it is a game that has improved in almost every category, adding on to the already ridiculous amount of content launched with the game. Today, we'll discuss Battlefront 2's comeback and how it got to where it is now, and also if you should buy it or not 2 years later.
This sucks.
Yo, welcome back to the channel, everybody. How's it going? Hope you're all doing well. As you can tell by that very short intro, we're going to be checking out Battlefront 2 2 years later for a review to see if you guys should buy it or not. And it should be very interesting. If you guys do end up enjoying the video, make sure to leave a like down below, because if not, you won't end up receiving $1 million by the CEO of EA. I know that sounds really out of world, but like, it's gonna happen if you leave a like. So make sure you do, and subscribe to the channel while you're at it, just to keep up with all content I upload. But now we're gonna talk about the launch with the game. November 17, 2017. Battlefront 2 has wrapped up its early access program and is just launched worldwide. After a quite successful beta and much hype around the game, being one of the most anticipated games of the year, it had quite mixed reviews to say the least. Through the early access trial, players were able to test out the game for 10 hours. Reception was mixed due to the progression system and the dumb idea to lock heroes behind a paywall. These heroes include favorites such as Luke, Vader, Palpatine, etc. At launch, the progression system was based on loot boxes, where depending on the star card and the rarity of it that you received, you will be able to rank up your troopers accordingly. But on top of that, you will be able to purchase these loot boxes for real money, which accompanied much backlash from the community, seen in this video by Angry Joe. This forced EA to remove all microtransactions for the launch of the game, which is ultimately a decision made by Disney rather than EA. The campaign didn't hold up to the hype it had. Players awed at the potential it had, being focused on the POV from the Imperial side of things, but it was lackluster and poor character development. Not to mention the game was riddled with bugs and poor server stability. December 2017 is now considered the start of the comeback for the game, introducing the first new wave of content that came to the game. It was based on The Last Jedi, and it introduced 2 new heroes, Captain Phasma and Finn, 2 new maps, Crate for Galactic Assault and Dakar for Starfighter Assault, and a new Starfighter hero ship. Although it technically didn't add anything fresh to the game, as it was basically an extension to the original game, it was something new, and it gave hope for the players who decided to stick around with the game, to see what the future had in store for them. After The Last Jedi season came to a close in December, for 3 long months until March of 2018, players were eagerly waiting for new content to arrive to the game, as during those 3 months, only Jetpack Cargo and Ian Versio's TIE Fighter that was ported from single player were added to the game. People were desperate, and while the player base continued to decrease, and while there was virtually no content from DICE, the next wave of content was not far. March 2018 brought a complete overhaul to the progression system in Battlefront 2, now basing it off of skill and time played instead of luck and gambling. This generally raised the positivity of the game and let players enjoy the game more, now that they were properly able to upgrade the characters they wanted to play as. And as a surprise addition the next month was about to turn the corner, players were satisfied to know they wouldn't be abandoned. April of 2018 came and went with the Night on Endor update, a relatively positive one, although not so much when it was first announced. The new game mode Ewok Hunt dramatically improved the quality of the game for many players and gave a reason for old players to come back to the game. In this update, we also received more than 40 trooper skins, mostly ported in from the first game, although it was a welcome addition nevertheless, as beforehand there was virtually no customization for troopers or heroes. Speaking of heroes, some heroes also in this update received some skins to further increase the customizability of characters in the game. While this update added many new additions for the game, mostly positive, except for that one thing. Anyway, as I was saying, the arrival of the new skins also reintroduced microtransactions in the form of cosmetics to the game, allowing DICE to finally earn some money. Yay. May and June of 2018 brought in Season 2, which was inevitably based off of the new Han Solo movie. And yeah, let's just not talk about that season. The season introduced more skins for heroes, including the popular Bausch Leia and Skiff Lando. Also reintroducing Extraction from the first game onto Jabba's palace, also an airport from Battlefront 1, and a new planet, Kessel. We also received L3 and Lando's Millennium Falcon, which was the fourth Falcon added to the game and also the last of content added for Starfighter Assault.
So I'm excited to confirm that Battlefront 2 this year will be going deep into the Clone Wars.
E3 2018 came around and boy did it hype up the game. The Clone Wars was finally announced to come to the game in October, including 4 heroes and a new planet, Geonosis. This is what we knew at the time. In the meantime, in July, players received Hero Starfighters, which is meh. And while we are waiting for October to come around, we finally got customization for Clone Troopers, including many different legions, etc. November 2018, a month considered to many to be the beginning of the official revival of Star Wars Battlefront 2. We finally received the beloved planet of Geonosis in Galactic Assault, accompanied by Obi-Wan Kenobi and 3 new vehicles who would all join the battlefront with Grievous, who was added in October. We continued to receive more Clone Trooper appearances, and the player base was starting to grow again, reaching the level it was originally at launch. Through the months, we continued to receive even more content, including Dooku and Anakin in the months of January and March, alongside Capital Supremacy, a new large-scale game mode that would get new maps every month from then on out. And we would eventually receive Felucia in September. In those accompanying months, we got 2 new reinforcements, which were the ARC Trooper and the Commando Droid. And finally, in June, after a long-awaited addition for nearly a year, Droidekas finally arrived into Battlefront 2. Alongside the Droidekas was the TX-130, a Republican tank to counter the AAT. As we received smaller updates after June, a whole new bombshell was set to land in September. In September of this year, 2019, Ben Walk, the community manager of Battlefront 2, dropped the biggest community transmission ever. That month, we received Felucia, a brand new planet for Battlefront 2, instant action, an offline mode similar to Capital Supremacy, Clone Commandos, co-op, and that was only for September. Also detailed in that same community transmission, it was confirmed that we would get continued support in 2020, new Rise of Skywalker content to accompany the movie, including a new planet, many new reinforcements, most likely new heroes, and much more to be detailed in the coming months. So all in all, if you made it through this video in entirety, you could tell that Battlefront 2 has come a long way and has improved drastically. Along the way, there have been many new star card changes that were added, bug fixes, and overall just an insane amount of content. It has recently been confirmed that the team at DICE will now dedicate more time towards bug fixes and other issues, so the team is definitely learning from their mistakes. So now back to my original question. Should you buy Battlefront 2 2 years later in 2019? With more content on the way and be confirmed by DICE that supports will continue throughout 2020, and recently seen in EA's earning call that there will not be another Star Wars game until 2021, which would most likely be a Battlefront 3, and to top that all off, that you could easily find this game for around 8 to 15 bucks wherever you go, yes, it is most certainly worth it to buy Star Wars Battlefront 2 in 2019.